bá. Ọ̀nẹ́jà oríwo mo ti ṣe bá. Ọ̀nẹ́jà oríwo mo ti ṣe bá. Ọ̀nẹ́jà oríwo mo ti ṣe bá.
Lọ́jọ́ mímọ́ tèmi àwa bá wa pé o. Ìdá bàbá yìí fa ìgbàgbọ́ wa àtàǹbá wa náà yìí jẹ́ ti ìbílẹ̀ ẹ bá wa pé o. Àjẹ́ ṣeéṣe ilẹ̀ làjẹ́ lè jẹ́ ọ̀kan. Ìdá ayédè abáwa mú kúrò. Alẹ́ ìlà ìlò wa fún ògo yìí. Owó fún wa jáde lówó ògo rẹ̀. Lẹ́nu ògo. Ọmọ àwọn ọdẹ gbé nípò gómìnà náà ọgbọ́n àtúnyẹ àti màálù sí pàfi fún ọ. Ìjọba tẹ̀ yí àdúgbò ti lọ. Orúkọ Jésù Kristi Olúwa wa.
Ayé wa spark. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá lè di arúgbó ege punk àbí táìsì. Bí o bá rí punk ló arúgbó nídìí Ifá. Ohun wo tẹ̀ fà wá wá bí wá fọ́. Ẹ bá a pàtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn.
Ayemafuge Ilaje. Òkì dédé Ilaje. Nàìjíríà ọ̀fọ̀ wa arúgbó. Àfọ̀fọ̀ ní one direction. Kí ní ẹ̀dẹ̀ nípa àdéhùn wa ní ṣe jẹ́. Bàbá kan ṣe kú bẹ́ẹ̀ last week Clark àbí bí ẹ bá ti fọ̀ dédé ìjọ agbọ́ àyàpọ̀ ìyá ẹni leader kálẹ̀ ẹni leader ti wá á respect yẹn á tó tàn án mọ̀ náà àwọn ọmúnà politician àwọn ọmúnà businessman so kí ni bàbá jẹ́ ẹ jókòó jẹ́ bá wa fọ̀ jẹ́ àwọn bá ya jẹ́ àpọ̀rọ̀ afẹ́ fọ̀ jẹ́ àwọn bá pàṣẹ torí lílà sí ẹ̀rọ ọba wa gbé kábíyèsí o. Ajá wa nìyí. Àríjẹ́ lórúkọ Ìlàjẹ. Ìmúdà wọ́ọ̀dù àtọ́kọ́ lórí wọ́ọ̀dù wa ń bẹ̀ ó wà ń bẹ̀. Your Excellencies here present, the Chief Judge of Ondo State. I'm the chairman of this conference, which is not here. We were expecting him to welcome all the sundry to this unique and historical occasion in Nigeria. My joy over this August gathering of who is who in Ilaje nation knows no bounds. Able to discuss the past and present situation of the Ilaje nation, to chart a way forward towards the sustainable development of our land and the people. This assembly is about unity and collective responsibility toward a better Ilaje nation of our dream. It is apt and at this junction to recognize the effort of some of the organizations that has taken laudable steps towards attaining this same objective in the past, and to about in different perspectives. In this regard, we recognize and salute the effort of Ayemafuge, League of Profession, Ilaje Development Strategies Committee, Ilaje Strategic Forum, and others. Recognize their efforts to bring Ilaje together. According to an Ilaje adage, as long as there's lights in the air, there will still be a blood on the fingernail. Hello, second page. Our real Father, ladies and gentlemen, with this sense of mission and mental peep into our dreamland, I submit that the following objective encapsulate the mission and vision of the Ilaje Nation Conference. Àjọ alẹ́sẹ̀ ní pọ́ọ̀tì kàyé sódìdì. Ìròyìn Ego, jáde lè fi da ọkàn, jáde bára ọkà jà, jáde ní wàhálà. Number one, to forge unity among the Ilaje as a people bound by history, common heritage, culture, and language. To offer a common platform necessary to articulate Ilaje agenda at all levels. Right now, I'm in Ilaje federal. I'm producing a book. Ilaje City, I'm in National Assembly, I'm in Senate, I'm anywhere. To identify, coordinate all forces, factor, resources, and source for the mental Ilaje land, to offer a common platform necessary, which I just talked about, to capitalize on size upon and utilize every opportunity, windows, and avenue available from time to time to fast-track the rapid development of our area. Protect and provide enabling environment for the development of projects in our land. That's another point. Further avenue for funding, donor agency. The recent Ambo donor agency Joe. Yàrá donate owó àbísẹ̀rùmú Nigeria. Let's go one of can donor agency I want Nigeria. Our Ilaje. To put in place structure, including committee, think tank, task force, etc., that will identify economic development and enhance the implementation of development idea, concept, agenda. To identify that venue, donor agency, NGOs, corporate entities, other bodies and individuals to complement the effort of government on the funding of projects and social amenities. To cooperate of Ilaje nation to advance corporate and collaborate with government and security agencies to ensure and provide well secure environment without which development effort and sacrifices could be in vain. This mission statement will not be complete if I fail to touch on the recent most significant experience in the history of Ilaje nation. On the 27th of December 2024, our beloved son, Dr. Ayemafuge, became the governor of the state. Following the demise, Governor Ayemafuge. This was the beginning of episodes emerging as the first man of Ilaje extraction. The was consolidated in governorship of election on November 16, 2024, in which the governor Ayemafuge recorded an unprecedented landslide victory in 18 out of 18 local government areas in the state. Governor Ilaje wa na dede that mean pé dede ru wa lọ́wọ́ wa bí epo iyọ̀ ìta dede ya lọ́wọ́ Ilaje wọn. Now have all the factors required to move Ilaje nation to a promised land. Abi àti ní governor báyìí o governor kan máa complain again. In other words, with our God-given human and natural resources combined with political power and with envisaged success of the new initiative for a united Ilaje nation, even the sky cannot limit our desire accelerated and sustainable development. Bàbá ìpè Ilaje ní sórí oríire báwo àbí kúlùkúlù tó yá ní wàásọ̀pù wa àbí fọ̀.
Ẹ̀yin ọba wa, ọba aláyé gbogbo àti ọba ìgbàgbọ́. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin aṣáájú wa káàkiri ilẹ̀ Ilaje. Mo sì fi àkókò yìí dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó ṣe ètò tí a fi wà níbí lẹ́ni. Pàládùúrà Ọlọ́run á máa sọ agbára yín di ọ̀tun. Lẹ́yìn eléyìí, ire tó máa bá Ilaje á jẹ́ kínú yín ó dùn o. Ó dàbẹ́ pé ẹ̀ ń ṣàmú àmì. Ilaje tó lè sàmì. Inú mi dùn. Mo sì fi àkókò yìí dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n gbé ètò yìí kalẹ̀. Àwa Ilaje a jẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè tí Ọlọ́run yà sọ́tọ̀ ní gbogbo Ondo State. Àwa la wà ní etí òkun. Nǹkan tá a dẹ̀ kà nínú ìwé mímọ́, etí òkun ni Ọlọ́run ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìrìnàjò ayé yìí. Ó fi hàn pé bí ìrètí náà tilẹ̀ falẹ̀ kò ní ṣaláì dé. Mo dẹ̀ rò pé àkókò tí Ọlọ́run yọ̀ǹda fún wa òun la wà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí. Ó yẹ kí inú wa ó máa dùn. Inú wa bá dẹ̀ dùn ẹjẹ́ àpàtàwọ́ fún Jésù. Ló ṣe dàbí ní Nàìjíríà. Ó yẹ pé àkókò tí a ní gómìnà, a ní olórí judiciary with the CJ, a ní igbákejì ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin. The head of service is from our local government, from one of us. Àìmọye PS tó wà káàkiri. Mo rò pé Ọlọ́run kọjú sí wa lákòókò yìí láti ṣe wá lóore. Ó lè yẹ ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Mo fẹ́ gba àwa ìpàdé tá a fẹ́ ṣe yìí. Ẹ má jẹ́ á kọjú sí àwọn ohun tó kù káàtó nìkan. Ẹ jẹ́ á máa àwọn nǹkan tí Ọlọ́run ti ṣe wá náà. Ẹ jẹ́ á máa dúpẹ́ àti àwọn aṣáájú wa tó lọ síwájú ní nǹkan tó ń ti ṣe. Ẹ má jẹ́ á gbàgbé wọn. Torí mo lè sọ pé ní ìgbà ọdún mélòó sẹ́yìn, bí 20 ọdún, téèyàn bá ń sọ pé èèyàn á lè lọ láti Àkúrẹ́ kó lọ sí etí òkun, ẹlòmíì á ní kò ṣeé ṣe. Gbogbo ọ̀pọ̀ wa tẹ̀ sọ pé kò ṣeé ṣe.
mo rántí nígbà tí a ń ṣe ọ̀nà lọ sí igbó ńlá inú mi dùn pé àǹtí ẹ̀ wà bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn bàbá kan wà ní màhí tó ń sọ fún pé ọ̀dọ́ màmá dé màhí láìpẹ́ ó jí ìbá ọlọ́run láàrẹ̀ ó jí lè sí ìbá ọlọ́run ó jí lè sí kó tí wọn náà wọn lò sí. So we need to acknowledge such accomplishments. And when people talk about dichotomy, everywhere there is dichotomy. And we must also acknowledge that Ilaje people have worked together on critical issues. Nígbà tí ogun ìjọ dìde sí wa, Ilaje spoke with one voice. Kò sẹ́ni tó rántí dichotomy. Kò sí ọmọ Ilaje tó ń díje, especially at governorship level, tí gbogbo Ilaje ò kí ń rally round there. We rally round there. I've contested several times. I've never lost Ilaje before. Everybody will rise. So it is not correct for us to harbor the impression pé torí pé a ní èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀ dichotomy pé Ilaje o ìyẹn ló hinder wa. We must examine the factors that are actually hindering us. They go beyond dichotomy. Nígbà kan rí Ilaje máa ń sọ pé méje ni mọ́ rẹ omi gàrí mi. But the exploration of oil in our environment tó ti sọ ẹja tó jẹ́ pé òun ni ọlá wa tẹ́lẹ̀ tí Ilaje fi ń yangàn tí Ilaje fi ń gbéraga tó sọ pé méje ni mọ́ rẹ wé gàrí mi tó ti gba ẹja lọ́wọ́ wa. It brought poverty to our land. Orílẹ̀-èdè tí àìríjẹ àìrímú bá jọba sí orí àwọn èèyàn òun pé ẹni tí ebi ń pa á parọ́ ẹni tí ebi ń pa á dalẹ̀ ọ̀rẹ́. And so on this occasion we must address the issue of poverty that has eaten very deep into the fabric of our existence as a nation. We must address it. Our leaders in the past who have brought Ilaje to this landmark. Today, I believe that ara ìṣòro tí Ilaje ní ni pé Ilaje ò kì í celebrate leaders wọn. There are leaders. It cannot be correct that we don't have leaders. We have leaders. Leadership is either you are born with it, is either that it was given entrusted on you, or the people gave it to you. We have leaders, cultural leaders, we have political leaders, we have religious leaders, abundantly in Nigeria. And we have them. And so, ìṣòro Ilaje ni pé orele ní ìyìnlẹ̀ ní Ilaje ń ṣe. If you are there today, Ilaje will celebrate you to bury in Kanto visit. They won't remember the past. Ìgbà mélòó, this man fought and died for Ilaje. Anyway, that's brilliant soldier. He led our war. Ó gbà wá sílẹ̀. Ilaje iṣẹ́ àfúrántí ẹ̀rí ní. We no longer remember him. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ dúró gbà yẹn káàkiri. We don't celebrate our leaders. Yínníyínní kàṣẹ́mí. Ilajes don't celebrate their leaders. And we must address it on this occasion. The abundant meat. So we must focus. I do not agree that we don't have leaders. And I do not agree that this conference can now identify leaders outside the leaders we have. It is not possible. It is not by proclamation. It is in Kanto Shesile. The role you have played in past. Oloma Sope one leader. It's not about money. What you have done in the past would recommend you for leadership. And I do not want us to create leadership crisis by now imposing. We must acknowledge leadership. Káwá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wo kí lè rí tá a fẹ́ rí láàrin ọdún márùn-ún bó dẹ̀ ṣe mẹ́jọ lọ́yàn ọ̀dà fún wa for the leadership of the state. Ó ti àkéjì pa síbẹ̀. A mọ̀ pé this is an opportunity for us not only to develop our people, to develop the environment, but also to develop the people. But Agagu will tell you there are two theories of development: developing the environment and developing the people. Only to develop environment to fi àwọn èèyàn sílẹ̀, the people will destroy the environment. Bó o fi òpó nání bẹ̀ hàn lágé hàtà, wáyà rẹ̀ hàtà, abiládé ẹ̀rọ kí ara lùkà náà mi, abiládé ẹ̀rọ. And he said that to develop our èèyàn to develop environment, the people will migrate. Ẹ wo àwọn ọmọ tó ń ṣe councillor, tó bá ti kúrò ní ìlówó ìkórìó àṣìṣà, tó bá ti di governor councillor, wọn ò padà síbẹ̀ mọ́. They will, because They have outgrown the environment. So our policy, central focus for development must be to develop the environment and also the people. How do we do it? So the oil companies will play their role. The dichotomy, to me, will always be there. Can make it healthy rivalry. That is healthy rivalry. So it is the use to which we put division. If we put it to positive use, it will rather accelerate our development. The Lord is here. I think it's the engagement of the governor. There are a few things I was going to say if the governor were here. Let's not search for strength. Already. As of today, God has given us strength. And if we allow this time to pass, this generation may not witness that kind of opportunity again. Therefore, the leaders let it be can focus in contact in Italy by redeem TNDDC substantially that the Ilaje affair. One your executive director of NDDC where the law says the person must come from oil producing area. One your lati be gengele okuta. Ilaje are mute on it. After this time out, it's going to be the turn of Ondo State possibly to produce the MD. What are we doing about it? Aren't always quiet when negative things are happening to us? Ẹlòmíì ní ọba wà. Yá bá sọ pé olúra híwí lè sọ bàrẹ̀ akọ́bẹ́ níwájú. Ó yẹ lọ́mọdé àti kọ́kọ́ híwí jìnnà lọ́rán tó bá yí ọba àtẹ̀lé ga. Àwọn ọmọ wẹ́wẹ̀wẹ́ tó yẹ kọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan tó yẹ kọ́ ṣe nǹkan àǹkàyìn ìtàpè ọba pé ọba fúnẹ̀. Ọlọ́jẹ̀ híwí mo gbọ́ rí. So kí làwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa ń ṣe when things are going wrong? Ṣé torí ebi ni that we cannot speak, we cannot agitate, we cannot protest? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Èdè àmúwa o. My brother Benji, I want to thank you for this moment. Even it's only this one. And I know that accommodation has been provided. And is a lot of money. Not everybody can do it, and we want to appreciate you for that. But the issue is not totally about leadership. Because leadership to government law. But we are 10 million. Today, the most senior leader in Ilaje is the governor. So that being so, we must see how do we take maximum benefit. Bí a ṣe rí ní ọ̀dà àgàgbó, bí àwọn ọ̀wọ́ ṣe rí ní abẹ́ àkẹ́tì, kí Ilaje náà lè rí lábẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀ ìta ní. God bless Ilaje.
Tiwa, gómìnà tiwa, ògbákejì ìrìn sòfin tiwa, àwa lòkèrè gáyè, àpàtẹ́wọ́rùn làjẹ́. Ṣùgbọ́n ní kúkúrú, ọ̀gá ń fọ̀ ní pé àtìná ìyálẹ̀ yìí òtítọ́ wà ìlò, àrùn yìí kùn, àjẹjà ṣe, gbogbo yẹn àti rẹwà jẹ àwọn ọ̀dọ́ àkóró.
From this point of view, means being able to dominate and subdue our environment. This is the divine directive. Therefore, when we're talking about unlocking our potentials, it's my own belief following the prayer of God, that we should be able to dominate and subdue our environment. Problems confronting Ilaje is the environment in which we are located, not dichotomy. So what is Ilaje environment? What is the Ilaje environment to dominate and subdue? I say Ilaje environment is the Atlantic Ocean abutting our communities and the wetland drained by the Ofara, Oluwa, Talita, Alagwe, and Benin rivers and their distributaries. You will see that these rivers that I've mentioned are the rivers that traverse the whole of Ilaje land. Ilaje people are settled at the edges of this river and there about them. The environment is difficult. It's wetland. When you want to put structures on wetland, you need to spend extra funds to be able to reinforce the foundation. The soil bearing capacity, according to geotechnical experts, is very low and therefore cannot carry weight. So, lack of development in our place is not indeed attributable to dichotomy. In spite of the dichotomy we have in Ilaje, we continue to intermarry. We have the same church. We speak the same language. We do socials together. So what is the dichotomy problem? No problem there. You see, dichotomies are used by people who want to take personal advantage of a situation. That's all. It's not the commoner, it's not a community problem as far as I'm concerned. Dr. Chipoke mentioned that the fact that during the war, the Ilaje of all clients came together and fought the war, and we won. Government manages all. The intellectuals are usually the advisors to government. Therefore, if we must improve governance, which can help to tackle our environmental challenges, we must focus on improving the standard of education in our environment. All of us that are here, we should not partake or sponsor our children or our children's children to go and write WAEC with funding them to go to miracle centers. You see, when you give money to your children or your grandchildren to go and register in another school, maybe the school is attending, you don't cheat there. Go to that place where they cheat and they say they are helping. What happens is that's your ward, that's your student who knows that is going to Miracle Center to write his WAEC will no more be serious about her studies. And from here, let all of us make a resolution that we will not be promoters of examination malpractice. Don't say if a particular student writes WAEC the first time and doesn't make it, and he cannot write it again. Let them go back to write it the second time or the third time until they are able to defend that certificate on their own. That is when they will eventually become a graduate that can defend his certificate at that level. If he comes back to teach in the secondary school, he can teach effectively and produce competent secondary school graduates. Focus on good education. You will have youths that will be bold to challenge injustice to our environment. We struggle for the emancipation of Ilaje land. So the way to go is to improve our education so that we can establish a circuit of strong intellectuals that can subdue and overcome the environment. About reproduction, that we should be fruitful and multiply. I think the people are doing that very well. It's only in the area of subduing the environment and overcoming that we are lacking. So I recommend that of our problems. Before I went, the second one should be an estuary in the Obiaxis of Ilaje land. That one will drain the rivers that flow from Oloa, Torobia, Bene, Uba, Apata to the Obes. And the third one, we should not block the Dioba estuary. Rather, we should open it up so that it can drain more water of the standard size I mentioned. Of course, the fourth one, our Bereke. We may have a fifth one, or we don't have it at Obi. If possible, we could have it. If we don't, it's okay. That traverse our area. If you don't have outlet into the sea, they will spread over the surrounding and make the place wet eventually. Besides the fact that they will help us drain the land and make them possible for agricultural purposes, the estuaries will provide easy access for our fishing folks to go into and through the sea. This will also help the tugboats for fishing to move in and out of the sea. And I want to say, without these estuaries, there's no way to effectively transfer the wealth of the ocean to the hinterland. So it's these estuaries that help to transfer the wealth of the ocean to the hinterland. So if we must take maximum advantage of the blue economy of the federal government, we must have estuaries in our seashore to be able to bring the wealth of the ocean into the hinterland. Perpendicular wall to the shoreline, into the sea on both sides of the estuary. All our sea erosion, and we start to have new shoreline, and you have our estuaries open up of the opportunity we have had. Thank you.
Easy for you go to it.
Ọba Aládéwà kí adájọ́ àgbà ìpínlẹ̀ wa àti ọ̀rẹ́ mi ṣe Socio-Economic Ilaje SCN. After that, mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ àjẹyàjẹ́ ní mi adopt existing protocol. Okay. Ó bọ̀ ẹ̀rọ àtẹ́lù àbí àpé ìdàkótó mi rẹ̀ ṣe major problem wa lẹ́ni. Ó analyze it. Mo fẹ́ buttress point yẹn with a historical development ní Ilaje. Wà á ti ní dream mo ń bà láyé ní Bayana ní school. Àti ní dream wẹ̀. Pété àkàmọ̀dọ̀ wà ní Ilaje. Èyí jẹ́ pé ní Ilaje àparapọ̀ àkàlé àǹfààní àti ìlọsíwájú àti ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ Ilaje. Na pé bọ̀kámídíà ugbo bọ̀kámídíà màhín bọ̀kámídíà ètìkà àbí àyẹ̀ni. Kádà tí Socio-Economic ṣe ní ọ̀nà ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ abẹ́rẹ̀ ní ọ̀lẹ́wà. Àwa zero in on him. So ṣùgbọ́n Ilaje ń sọ pé bóyá but ó ti yẹra mi tó a sọ pé Ilaje ń wá rí pé ọmọ náà Ilaje rẹ̀ ní pé òjijì ọmọ ni pé a ṣeré sí. So àti pé things ọ̀rọ̀ dichotomy even after ìlú contest house of assembly jí lè win ṣìkòkè wa sọ pé ìgbà yìí lè ti win house of assembly méjì wá lọ house of reps pé torí pé ohun kan wà nígbà ìgbà lọ́wọ́ tó gbóyin tó dà èyí lọ́wọ́ ní rárá ìgbà yìí èyí mo fọwọ́ fẹ́ lọ yé ti bọ́ sí èyí wo for interest mi yẹn mẹ́rin lọ ó yá ká lọ èyí ọ̀rọ̀ dichotomy. I don't use that to buttress that point. And Dr. Omotense, ọ̀nà ẹ̀jẹ̀ pé community command hospital rẹ̀ òun àti Lakagada bá ti lọ ìgbọ́kọ̀dá àgbàrá ní school ó ti tọ́ buttress ọ̀rọ̀ dichotomy yẹn pé ọ̀lùbọ̀bọ̀ òun wá gbé dichotomy yẹn pé a ní ìdí ẹ̀ pé a fẹ́ lò á lò òun wá bá rí pé ní pè náà à ń gbé àtẹ́lù tòbí òsèkàlẹ̀ yẹn ni. Your Excellencies, our fathers, ladies and gentlemen, permit me, I put something down, for record purposes. I said today is a regular day in the history of Ilaje, are people bound by history, common origin, culture, and language, and protocol to recognize and salute Mr. Governor, who is going here with us today for one reason or the other. The first of Ilaje decides, pay homage to our traditional rulers and appreciate our noble sons and daughters assembled here today for this historic conference. By the same token, I'm duty bound to acknowledge and commend the efforts of the convener and other members of the conference planning committee for this landmark initiative. Ilaje land is blessed with abundant resources, including but not limited to the following: mineral and petroleum resources, fishery resources, lumber and forest resources, arable and agricultural friendly terrain. To complement the natural resources identified above, God bless Ilaje products with high mental, cognitive, academic, and intellectual capacity, manpower, and abundant human resources. In school, at work, and in all competitive life endeavors, our classmates and colleagues find their Ilaje counterparts hard to beat. Ilaje no dey carry last. Ìgbàlejò àwọn ọmọ pé bóyá ẹja yìí Ilaje ń jẹ pé bóyá òun ní fún Ilaje brain. Àdọ́rẹ̀ ìgbọ́n lé ní ọmọ fọ̀ yìí ní ìbò àbílọ̀ school. It goes without saying that our nation has produced notable Nigerians who have left or who are recording indelible marks on their field of operations. Yeah, Chidoke said it. That we should try to recognize those who had, made one impact or the other in the past, so that we will not always be talking about negative. Some these are the likes of Sir Samuel Ayemafuge, Nigeria's first surgeon, and Alizin Akene Ayida, former civil servant. The list also includes Ebu Omoyele, Theophilus Iwajomo, Elkena Adeneye Erubeomo, Adeola Job Mafo, Olushola Omonira, Oluyemi Oguyomi, and a host of others. Among the Lord cited here, only Aswaju Oluyemi Oguyomi is here among the living and with us here today. Yes, our brother is not here, but at least we should applaud him, because it's not easy for a man to rise to become the clerk of the National Assembly and a able status by all standards in the power equation of Nigeria. Just put your hands together. In spite of the plethora of natural resources and the array of talents constituting a formidable manpower, Ilaje land, nay, Ilaje nation, remains a victim of self-inflicted injuries and other circumstances, including lack of unity, dichotomy, which we have spoken about, kingdom/sectional struggles, political interest, politics of bitterness, tendency to be neglected by most successive administrations in the state. Announcing the arrival of His Imperial Majesty over there's Ilaje. We have Ubeni Bato, Ilaje. Let me end this goodwill message on a poetic note. Find creeks, rivers, and lagoons endowed with human and material resources, flowing with milk and honey. There is a land sovereign in the midst of abundance, beloved by dichotomy, entangled in disunity, belabored and thirsty with water everywhere, suffering and hungry amidst plenty. There is a land crying for liberation, full of hope and expectation, imbued with new energy and motivation, ready for emancipation. Are we not imbued with new energy today? Are we not ready for emancipation? Ilaje nation is a blessed nation, a land that rising whenever it falls, patiently waiting for the pillars and the builders of a greater Ilaje nation of our dreams. Who that are here seated today? Thanks for God bless.
When the speech was going on, please be with us.
I'm going to let them project my presentation so that all of you can see. I want it to be as interactive as possible. So let it be projected by... Now, because one thing you hold in like airport, you have to sorry. If I ṣùgbọ́n ní pé jábàdá bọ̀ clinic àní Ondo State yìí yà fi Malaje lílé fọ́ọ̀rọ̀ nàá mi ìdíje wa hó má òwe ṣe máa lòkun àtètè lera máa lòkun mọ́ ọba náà dìbì tètè rú ọba omi ìjọba òkè máa lòkun mọ́ ọba náà dìbì tètè rú ọba. Now, this projected presentation. Our geographical location and natural environment will cause a blessing in the quest for development in Ilaje. This is the issue we want to crack. I want somebody to help me move the slides. Let's go to me on the dichotomy. Some have celebrated dichotomy, some have denounced. But I think what is important for us is to look at geographical location and our natural environment. Is it a cause or a blessing? In Ochofa, it's supposed to be a blessing. It's supposed to be a blessing. But if you see what has been happening in the last several years, it's more of a blessing to individuals and largely of a cause to the generality of the people of the land. When the dispensation was going on, that many rivers in Ilaje, they empty where do they empty? Where do they empty? That if there's no ocean, there'll be no river. If the river don't empty somewhere, then there'll be problem. There'll be no Ilaje nation. The whole of the nation or the region will be engulfed in water, be submerged. So when you see this kind of interactions, marine ecologies and riverine ecologies being interrelated, and the activities affecting themselves, all the inhabitants of that region are on the coastline. Barrel of crude oil, daily production on this coastline. And this region, this Ilaje region, makes 100% of the total coastline of Ondo State. 100%. And this 100% is 75 kilometers. And the resources that are coming out from here, if you know how much a barrel of oil is, and you know we're making 60,000 barrels a day, then you know the resources that are going out of this region. And over these several years that these resources have been going out here, tell me what benefit we have made as a region. Tell me the benefit we have made. And over the years, when it was found out that no benefit was made, interventionist agencies were created. To OMPADEC was created. Because of the terrain, because benefits did not spread, OMPADEC was created. And what did it achieve? Several years after its creation, nothing meaningful was achieved. In 2000, NDDC was created. And over the past 20 or so years, we will see what we have achieved. We are still crying, we are still wallowing in abject poverty, we are still talking about the environment. Where has the money gone? Did we ever? And the share of each of the states that constitute oil producing areas over this year. Do you ever find out what is happening in other states? And at about the same time, in Ondo State in 2001, OMPADEC was also created. And over 20 years of its operation, OMPADEC, what have we benefited? These are the questions we should ask. These are the questions we should ask. When OMPADEC was there, 3% of national funds, national revenue, was allocated for development. At about the time NDDC and OMPADEC were created, it was increased to 13% derivative funds from national oil revenue. And if we have our own share in university in the past 20 years, why are we talking now that the terrain has not been developed? What have we done with the money? A little thing is a little thing. A little thing is what? It's a little thing. He who is faithful in a little thing will also do what? We have also paid for 20 years. What have we achieved? What said that some 30% of the problem has been as a result of some institutional failure. But let me identify the major contradictions. We have oil, we have marine resources, we have fishery resources, we have land resources, but we have a major contradiction. Ọmọ ìyá ọlọ́bẹ̀ wa ń ṣe kíni eegun ló ń jẹ. Ọmọ ìyá ọlọ́bẹ̀ ó ń jẹ eegun ṣe èyí bọ̀ èyí bọ̀ alẹ́kùn alọ́bẹ̀ alẹ́màlòkun ògbóló àtẹ̀tẹ̀lẹ̀ràn àmì jẹ egungun. Now there have been resource movement out of this region in the last 20 years to the tune of billions of dollars in terms of exportation, legally and illegal. We have not asked a single question about what has been done with oil money and where it has been going. Part of the contradictions are weak human capital. Weak human capital. Part of the weakness in human capital is to see the wrong thing and to say nothing. You see the wrong thing, you say nothing. This is a reflection of weak human capital. You cannot recognize what is wrong. And so you kept mute. And the man died who kept mute in the face of tyranny. That's what Wallace is told. Now we have rudimentary technology and subsistence economy. Despite our oil, despite our fishery resources, despite our shrimp resources. You know how much a bag of shrimp costs now? You know how much a bag of shrimp is? The women should tell us. It's a lot of money. It's from our resources. It's from our coastal resources. And we have on top of that, youth unemployment, abject poverty. These are contradictions that we need to interrogate in a conference like this. The cost of living in Ilaje land is what we'll be talking about. And it's as a result of institutional failures. And let me mention these institutional failures, and I will take them one by one before I drop my time. First is incapacitation of local government administration. Our local government is being, or has been done in other states, incapacitated financially over these several years. How much money do we have coming to the local government? And even the little that we had are not being properly used. In those days, local government funds, when they came, people just sat down around and shared the money. Share the money absolutely. Literally, share the money. Criminally, share the money. Criminally, share the money. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. And this is the result. Now, if you look at our local government secretariat, as an oil producing state, it's the worst in the whole oil producing state. It's a shame. It's the worst. It has a physical outlook. Yet we produce 60,000 barrels of oil per day. Look at our local government. It's physically challenged, if I will say. Financial strangulation of interventionist agencies. One of the important interventionist agencies, or SOPAC, have been so financially strangulated over the past 20 years. Nobody said a word. No one said a word. We're supposed to be using 13%. We have a 13% derivation, which should go to oil producers. We have a mandate of 2 local governments, Ilaje and SL, to use this money. Yet 18 local governments use this money. We're all yelling. We're all yelling. We're all clapping everywhere. We're so bad. We're so bad. We're so bad. There's no money coming there to develop a geographical location and natural resource. Only episodic projects, rudimentary projects, trickle out of that place. We need to address this. I'll provide a solution here. It will be hard to implement. Now, another institutional failure is political marginalization and unbalanced development arising from predatory political ascendancy and egocentrism. Who set the agenda in Ilaje land? Let's ask ourselves. Who set the agenda? Who creates the word? Who defines the budget? Who allocates the budget? Who spends the budget? Who supervises? Who evaluates? Who monitors? No one. No one. And this is where we are. This is where we are now. Now, another institutional failure, geographical divisions. Distractions. We distract ourselves a lot. Geographical divisions. And deindustrialization. Let me dwell on it. So 40-something years ago, Ilaje witnessed the first industry in the whole of the region. About 40-something years ago, 1982, Oluwa glass industry was established. In fact, the youth that are here today, if some of you really know what we call Oluwa industry, will be really very few. Very few. And since its collapse and death, how many other industries have we had in Nigeria? Zero, isn't it? No one. No industry, 40 years. With oil money flowing, with fishery resources, no single industry. We are the architect of our misfortune. This is a disaster. Yet we plan. This is where you want to plan, you really have to use knowledge. Knowledge is very important. Knowledge is power. The human capital is weak. Not just to share the money. How can you have a region producing so much, 75 kilometers coastline, fisheries, shrimp, aquaculture, lumbering, and you have no single industry, this is a disaster. No single industry. No single industry. Yet you blame our youth. The youth are angry, they are not doing anything. No one has ever suggested that there be industry. People always argue, it's not possible. It's not possible. It's not. Why are you so pessimistic in this region? All things are possible. With knowledge and with God, all things are possible. But you have come to see possibilities now, and I will define the possibilities after I finish recounting the institutional failure. The ruralization of the region. Do you know the meaning of ruralization of a region? Is to be thinking backwards, to be thinking that it's not possible. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. You cannot have an industry in a region like this. It's not possible. Then all you need to have is a health center where there's no doctor, no staff nurse. That's what you will have. You cannot have electricity. You don't need it. You have a lantern. Lantern is what you need to have. You cannot have, in fact, to be thinking in a rudimentary way. Low level of thoughts, low level thinking. That is what we have been facing the last 40 years. And you see our area like this. In the last 20 years, some areas that have electricity have been disconnected, have been vandalized. That's what you see. Internal institutional failure. Now, arbitrary delineation, some words, some people will call that delineate words. Nobody will even hear anything about it. The structure of traditional jurisdictions and intra-ethnic conflicts, squabbles. That's what you have. Love is lost in Ilaje land. And unless we restore it, we don't restore love in this land, that will not develop. That will not develop. There is collapse of community governance structure. We used to govern ourselves in the community. We respect elders. There's structure. Now there's no structure. There's no structure. There's no God. People just do what they like. I have never seen. There's everywhere. There's community management everywhere in the world. Community, they organize it. You know. But here it is collapse. There's rent-seeking behavior. Rent-seeking behavior. Political rent seekers, economic rent seekers pervade the land. Now there's real environmental problems, seeing caution, encroachment, and its negative consequences. Some of our towns have been facing this, and we can deal with all this. We can deal with all this. Now let us look at the new direction I want to suggest. And the blue economy paradigm. The Ilaje people will swallow out of poverty. You are in abject poverty, you can swim out of it. And you all know the 5 areas where we need to focus our attention. It has always been a sing song in the past 25 years, a sing song, but nothing has happened. And I'll mention 5 of them. Coastal Road Network. You all heard about it. Coastal Road Network, right? You cannot build a blue economy without efficient transportation. It has to be moved. Service of goods and services, flow of goods and services. So the coastal road network. Then there is a local government autonomy that's going to be granted. And that will address some of the things I'm talking about. Strangulation of our financial capacity of our local government. It will address it. So, but I'll ask some questions what we need to do about this. Because it's not proposed. Then there is the PIA incentives, petroleum industry and incentives. Do you know about it? How many people hear about it? All of you know about it. Now I will ask some questions as to how we can maximize the benefits in this region. There is seaport development. You hear about it? The government has been talking about it in the last 8 years. Seaport, seaport, seaport. There are so many songs that come to Ilaje land. And all these songs, we need to make them meaningful now. We need to make them meaningful. Then there's ecotourism development. In all its ramifications, we need to define ecotourism. Understanding. Only last month in my own kingdom, some news came to tell me that people went to fetch white water somewhere. I've been in that place for long. I've never heard about white water. The water is immaculately white. And now that the government, That is part of the thing I'm saying. Government does not even think it fit that people in Nigeria should drink water. We are not sophisticated enough to drink that kind of water. That's the level of thinking that guys have developed. We cannot drink pipe water. Go and do well for them. Go and make well. Go and think well. You can see development thinkers are very few on the land. They feel that what is probable is well. If you ask them to reticulate and let them have drinking water in all settlements, they will think it's too big for you, it's too much. You can't drink good water. Go and use well. God forbid bad thing, isn't it? Now let us look at some solutions. Let's look at some solutions, and I'll pick them one by one. We need to ask ourselves very serious questions. First, what strategic approaches, balanced development strategies, and political alliance, community reorientation, internal reconciliation, business models will the region adopt to ensure the actualization of the promises and potentials that we have in order to derive the desired benefits. Sit down in government and they want to start administration, they need to have policy and priorities. They need to be guided. They need to ask appropriate questions. They need to have the knowledge to do what is right. This has been lacking, and we need to sit down and find out what we need to do. That's it for internal reconciliation in Ilaje. We're all brothers and sisters. In fact, if we go through our marriage system, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọba tí bára wa jà ní yẹ́bà la lọ́kùn àjà yá ti fẹ́ bára wa lò ẹ̀lẹ́ yìí development o ìyàpọ̀ náà yàrá yìí yá wá ní gbìyànjọ́ lé iná abáwájú tó ìdè kábẹ́rẹ́ rẹ̀ yìí òun ẹ̀yà yìí development yà lò. Now, what investment is coming to the region from the PIA fund? Sáàmà ọ̀rọ̀ owó èkó yìí owó méjìlá lẹ́rú o ọmọ méjìlá lẹ́rú owó jẹ́ àjọ ọmọ yẹn owó jáde iná máa lò fún wọ́n nílẹ̀ kan yóò bí ẹbí sàn lọ́ máa lò fún wọ́n yí wọ́n lù ká iná owó èkó èsì ṣé bàbájú wa rẹ̀ rí bàbájú tó nọlé pọ́bátì yìí gà yìí nílàjẹ́ yìí pọ́bátì yìí gà yìí arójúlé yẹn rà sá arójúlé kan làjẹ́ yìí lè sọ pé òun ti jẹ yó nílàjẹ́ sáárì mẹ́rin ká rí o nàjọ́ òkà bá wà nílàjẹ́ jáfi pa ìṣẹ́rù jáfi pa òṣì jáfi parun ṣé ó yẹ kí káṣe tó ojúlé àbí ojúlé kan yẹ kí ra mọ bí ra o tó yẹ kí káṣe tó ojúlé kéde ojúlé yẹ kí káṣe rẹ bí a bá fi ṣe ẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà tí òrùlé bá ti wá jáfi fòtò kẹ̀kẹ́ jáfi jó yóò bá ti dà òṣèlú ọlọ́mọdé àpẹ́ ìlàjẹ́ o ọlọ́mọdé àpẹ́ ìlàjẹ́ àjàkà fìfẹ́ òòyà náà yìí òòyà náà nàjẹ́ yìí jáfi pa yìí àwọn ẹ̀dá ṣe àwọn ẹ̀dá máa lò kù máa kó gbóló àyètẹ́lẹ́ra wẹ́ gbọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀kẹ́ ìfẹ́rẹ́ àti mangrove forest ìlànà yàrá sọ̀rọ̀ bí ẹ̀kọ́ lọ wẹ́ gbẹ́ kíní kàkàdàwù àti dédé wẹ́ gbẹ́ wẹ́ dá ọkọ rẹ̀ ẹ̀dọ́ yẹn lọ́dẹ́ dá ọkọ rẹ̀ dédé omi yá bọ́ mi wọ́n mẹ́ta lọ́dún máa lò kú yí omi wẹ́ dá omi yìí ọ̀fàrà wẹ́ dá olùwọ́ wẹ́ dá. Definition. Let the person attend a conference like this so that we define it. Who defines the local? Now, the local government is the closest to the grassroots. Budget and organizational structure. Local government, you can be. After local government, you are direct. Tell the state won't go on you. If you state won't go on, tell them. Local government, you on the local government. It's a process. It's a process to grassroots. It's closer to grassroots. Nígbà tó bí àná jẹ́ ọ̀yà ọ̀dẹ́dẹ́ náà ló gbé local government owó èso mi ra ló bá dúró lé bàmí. local government ọ̀hún ṣe àwọn wa o ó máa dára wa o a máa ṣàṣeyọ o a ṣàṣeyọrí o wọ́n máa ṣe bó.
While we are waiting for the next stop on the program, Prophet for
Say
Thank you. So